All right, we continue our Game 4 news conference with Tennessee. We are joined by head coach Tony Vitello, starting pitcher Marcus Phillips, and catcher Cannon Peebles. Coach will make an opening statement, then we'll go right into questions. Coach.
Yeah, it's nice to have, you name it, donors, alumni, fans, administration that are very supportive of our team. I kind of recycled a message nonstop about this weekend when it's, get ready or get excited or good luck. Embrace the chaos because it is that time of year, and I don't know that it's that this game was more chaotic than the one before us, but both were kind of what you'd expect. All hands on deck as it relates to pitchers. A lot of good swings out of all four teams. Fortunate at the end of the day to be one of the teams that was able to win.
Questions. We'll start with Ryan up front and then go to Ben.
Tony, what has Marcus done differently these last three outings to kind of control the running game better?
I think just improved. Progress has been his MO since he's been here. Part of it is due to credit of hard work and the coaches working with him, but also there's a pretty good combination he's working with of being blessed with a lot of talent and yet, especially last year and the year before, so far away from being as good as he can be. And I've kind of said it reluctantly that probably his best days at baseball are, a long way from here. So that'll be good for pro ball stuff. But for now, it's just nice each time he goes out. Again, you don't always get the byproduct on the score that you want or the scoreboard shows it, but there's been significant progress, and that was, an area he's improving at and has improved at and has made progress.
Marcus, Cincinnati's coach talked about how he could absolutely tell that you've been working on the running game the last couple of weeks. What have the last couple of weeks been like for you, and I guess how rewarding was it when you picked off Carrington there in the fifth inning? What was kind of going through your mind?
Yeah, it was rewarding for sure. I mean, every out's important, but no, I've been working on it a little bit, every week, and it's something that I never really put a lot of attention towards. But as I've been working on it, I feel like I've been making some pretty good progress on it, and it's been showing.
Carlos up front.
Marcus, when did you know that your game was going to be this sharp, and what kept you motivated for the innings that you threw?
When did I know? Man, I've always been a baller. I like to play. I like to be around the game. I've been around it my whole life, so just always being around the field and wanting to progress in my my abilities. I feel like that's kind of telling for how sharp my game could possibly be. But no, I was excited to go tonight, and we got a good crowd, and it was a fun win.
To the back row.
Coach, offensively, tonight, Gavin Keelan with 4 hits. He's been great all weekend so far, obviously. And then Dean Curley was huge with the scoring. What have you liked out of those two guys?
Well, Dean's the one that sticks out. He's just freed himself up to play, and he's done very well defensively. He's done well on the bases, and then the at-bats have been really good. And to be honest with you, it's kind of obnoxious. Like any kid you've ever recruited, if you're a recruiting coordinator, is guys hitting the ball hard but right at people, and that's probably an overused statement as a hitter. But he's hit a lot of balls hard that he hasn't got credit for in recent weeks. But he's doing it so often that he is getting some credit. So it's great to see. And then, Gavin is kind of this year's Billy a little bit. Billy was in such a great groove. He has the appendicitis thing pop up, and it kind of takes him out of his rhythm a little bit. I think Billy hit a homer in the first game back, but at the same time, it did take him, it's a sample size game. It took him a couple weeks to kind of get back into a groove, and I think Gavin's been very accepting of his new role at short, has played well there. The base running has been special out of Gavin, and I think he's most known because he can hit.
Third row, Ben and Paige. Get a mic to you.
Tony, there was obviously a lot of questions about Liam pitching this day, Marcus pitching that day. What went into your decision-making process, and I guess how rewarding was it for you, Marcus, to go out and pitch the way that he did today?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking through it as you say it. It's been a year of a lot of decisions to make. It seems like there's been more. There's a lot of 50-50, or this could work or that could work. But as it relates to the last 4 or 5 weeks of pitching, I don't say it arrogantly because I definitely don't have all the answers. But as coaches, at least putting our collective heads together, there was no doubt at all with kind of the vision we had is after the Auburn series, let's not ask too much of Liam. We knew the tournament might require somebody to come around quick, but we like it's a left-right combo, and it's gone well for us. And I'll take either guy in either situation. You guys have done it probably already, but there's been a bunch of weekends where one's better than the other, or one's our best guy out of the two. But it's a great 1-2 punch, and not really looking to go with strategy other than, like I said, didn't want to wear Liam out with the blister at the time, which is fine. And then he was asked to do a lot in a short amount of time with the Auburn thing, with the relief appearance.
Front left with Eric.
Okay, then Marcus obviously had a really good outing, tied for a career high, 8 strikeouts. From your vantage point, what was working so well for you guys, the battery on that strikeout, and really just his overall appearance?
Yeah, for me, I think what I see out there is he's very poised. I think it helps our team kind of relax a little bit on defense. And, he was just competing. He was just out there next task. If something didn't go his way, like I said, he's very poised and he can move on very quickly and focus on, getting the next job done. And that's kind of been the basis of this team, and it worked tonight.
Paige.
Kenan, I noticed, I guess, in the regional that you guys are doing the Drew Gilbert celly on the extra base hits. What maybe inspired that? And Vitello, you're all about vibes, so how has that changed maybe the vibes of the team?
Well, I don't know. It just popped up on my phone one day, and I thought it was cool. And it's something that, I think a lot of the young guys on this team, and, even everybody grew up kind of watching. And I hadn't had a double in a while. So for me, I was kind of like, at next double I get, I might just pull it out if I feel like it. And then I just ended up doing it for fun. Luckily, the team said that they loved it. So I was just like, might as well keep it going.
Yeah, the vibe on one hand the whole year has been good. It's been kind of like Marcus as an athlete, progressing and pushing forward all year long, starting with meetings here in the fall. At the same time, if I'm going to be critical coach guy, it hasn't been as good as it can be this weekend. And, it's called a team sport for a reason. You need every single guy to really enjoy this. And, there's been some guys either trying to do too much or frustrated because they're not perfect, or just other things you notice. And again, it's just being a coach. It's been great, but I think it can be even better. This is such a special deal. Marcus mentioned the crowd. To play at home maybe makes it a little bit sweeter, but overall, just to be involved in this thing is crazy. I never got to do it. I'm jealous, at least not as a player. So just need to enjoy it. So I think it's been good. It can get even better.
Mike, then Wes.
Marcus, with the base running stuff, was it frustrating in the first half of the year when teams were taking those bases? And how do you balance learning that while still throwing the pitches the way that you want to and getting hitters out the way that you're used to?
Yeah, honestly, it didn't feel like there was a lot of people taking off earlier in the year. And once we got to SEC play, everybody in this league wants to win. They find different ways to attack hitters and pitchers and stuff like that. So, but the learning process is every day you can learn something new, whether it's on the mound or in catch play or through bullpens, which is what helped me a lot. Just working on a quicker step to home plate and honestly just progressing week by week.
Kenan, the way those numbers offensively have gone up lately, I think everyone knows how much work you put into this game, but when those numbers weren't where you wanted them to be, did you feel like that it was going to get turned around this quickly? Did you feel like you could get the numbers back to wherever they are now, or do you needed to make a big change to do that, I guess?
For me, I always knew, because if you don't, it probably won't happen. You always got to believe in yourself, no matter what the circumstances are. And so a simple put, I always knew, I felt like.
Ryan.
Tony, you said Dean has freed himself up the last couple of weeks. Can you kind of elaborate on what exactly that looks like?
Yeah, I think I talked about it in the mid-game interview, but I think this deal's stressful, especially if you let it. You got, the two roads diverged in a wood thing. And these kids have more choices than ever now, whether it's what to watch or what to look at on their phone or who to listen to. And it's difficult to choose wisely all the time. And, Dean, I would trust that guy with about any task or, if I needed something done with my family, I would trust him in those situations. So I'm not saying he makes bad decisions, but even if it's not something you say out loud or a tangible thing or a decision you can see, all these guys, there's so much in front of them. So, you know, which thing do you want to listen to? And I think at this point, it gets real tiring to listen to complaints or critique, or for a kid to stress himself out and again want to be perfect or want to do this or that. And eventually, we've all been mad before. It's exhausting. I can hold a grudge as well as anybody in the room, as can a lot of other Italians. It'll wear you out. So eventually you just say, I'm still mad, but I can't do this anymore. I'm over with it. So that's the best parallel I can think of, you know, a guy, and he's one case, but there's others too. I just want to play, man. It's kind of like Hunter Ensley. Not a lot of time left in a Vol uniform. Just wants to play. And it looks pretty good, even when it doesn't look good on the stat sheet for him.
Third row.
Cannon, looking back to where you were a year ago, what do you think the biggest difference between yourself and where you are now?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just, you know, eliminating distractions. You know, we got a great team. We got a great vibe. I got a lot of great teammates behind me. And they've been a huge part of helping me out this year just by being good teammates and whatnot. But I think for me, it's just focus on, you know, playing ball and competing. You know, getting the job done is very important to me. And, you know, I pride myself in it. And so, you know, like I said, getting the job done has been my focus the whole time. And I think applying it and just staying with it has been the biggest part.
Last two, Eric and Ben.
Tony, do you like where you are pitching-wise heading into Sunday, and do you have a plan for tomorrow?
No plan for tomorrow. I mentioned to the team, I don't even think we'll know whether we're home or away until that game is over with. We won't know start time, whether we're hitting on the field or in the cages. So I think the biggest thing for our guys, you know, and obviously I think I said it, we won't know who we play. So the biggest thing is for our guys to relax, you know, parents, friends, family, get excited, and that's a good thing, enjoy that. But they've got a responsibility to themselves to relax a little bit. This stuff is emotional, and that can be as fatiguing as the physical stuff. So relax, hang out, be a kid, and then show up about the time we usually do, where they can, you know, get some fuel in them and start to slowly move around. But who knows if the game will be quick or long tomorrow. And as it starts to kind of take shape, we'll probably get closer to a firm decision. But that's as sincere of an answer as I got. Frank and I talked in the dugout for a second while the guys huddled up in right field, and we'll just kind of wait and see what we got. But yes, there's a lot of guys I trust. So as far as feeling good, you know, it's playoff time. I'd like to think everybody kind of feels the same way. They trust their guys. They're in this position for a reason, but at the same time, embrace the chaos. And it's a good time of year for guys to expect and be prepared to do something maybe they haven't been asked to do. But again, that's this time of year.
Tony, I was curious your thoughts in the dugout as AJ was kind of up and down, getting hot, stepping down, not throwing out there, and kind of did y'all reach a point to where he had warmed up so much that you felt like you needed to bring him in?
No, we avoided that. I was back in the tunnel having a conversation to where nobody could hear about that, and we hadn't really. This guy was making it difficult to take him out of the game. We thought, you know, there was maybe a window or a matchup that we had keyed in on that would mean go time a little quicker. But that was kind of the plan. I think one of you guys asked me if it'd be ideal for him to start, and maybe it'd be ideal for AJ. He has built that pitch count up a little bit. But I think the best approach for our team was to focus on today and do whatever it would take to get it done. And just like in Hoover, Arv got a big out, so he can't be left out. But Marcus and AJ, it's not cemented that they're a combo, but it worked out in our favor tonight.
All right. Thank you.
Good.